Truth has no beginning. Our histories have no start. Realization falls as a raindrop on a leaf, beginning at once easy and later as a downpour. Monsoons of truth come in seasons. We learn not to ask questions. We learn to be given answers. They can't convince a starving person they're full forever. The thunder within their stomach will roar with displeasure, not cease, never cease until lies are amended and the whole family is fed. Even those who are full will ask, who holds all the bread? Truth, like a spirit passing through, whispering secrets, prompting glances, knocking on walls to tell stud from drywall, depth from facade, asking about your history and where you come from, asking where you're going and what you'll do, and asking what may happen if your dreams don't come true. The if turns to when and the may turns to will. The will to change coming like a bitter pill. Life can be too much to swallow. Can't choke down, future's hollow. You don't always wean off your soma, but one day you might forget it and ask your neighbor about their life and where they come from. At once the monsoon comes, deluge down, and as a leaf on a tree you may fall off and drown, but you'll find yourself afloat, eventually drifting off with others tranquilly, a whole world abounds. Mess of manuscripts on tile floors, catch stains of color through window panes, neighbor flame-etched easels frame oils in pastel pots, spill ideas overflowing. The rhythm of time sound step teams through dance routines, and gimbal-mounted thimbles stabilize threads of space and time. Designers and producers create ephemeral ways of being, dreaming of scenes where they breathe easy and truly be, while you and I watch them across a ramp trip from across the street, a moment fleeting. We dream how they're dreaming, of stages and lights where fame only a means to create culture in a firm life. Making things just like saying, let there be lights. Deliver me from darkness and let my soul take flight. Artists and authors create works to assign and transmit that contagious feeling. We savor the same hunger to create and construct. Study precedes doing, so we digest, destruct, and scatter bones and parts, torn clean and pick sharp. We form scalpels from femurs, from poetic cadavers, fibula made forceps, tibula made daggers. Tools formed from pictorial perusal fashion to create a rhythmic clamor. We find our own answers, our work becomes fruitful. With more taste and an eye for the beautiful, we make our spaces and voices communal. Iterate, create, transmit, watch, write, and depict. We live as artists when our art raises voices and spaces unfinished. The world brightens and the fences fall when we make a workshop free to all who wish to find their voice and learn to stand tall. I live amongst artists, who do it all. I listened to a podcast about social media and democracy. Is it bad? They said. Postulated to people supposedly smarter than me. I said, no, of course not. Our heads have been turned away from institutions and struggle about democratic autonomy. Hierarchies of influence and strength lined in red dried scabs and the flowing blood of picket lines. Red line in Interstate 20 built through the heart of Atlanta. Lined in red to show you the directions to the penitentiary. Through the leftovers of displacement and eminent domain, the empire was always crumbling. The American dream of a white picket fence so fragile you could paint a Negro and watch it fall. I replaced my hierarchies with floods of content. Numbness and bliss to replace my discontent because problems push back from sunrise to sunset, because let's not think about that right now. The podcast was a proper debate, the kind we imagined before Rome would deteriorate, arguments made, rebuttals thrown, facts and logic placed, and it seemed their decision consigned my fate. They said, yes, it's bad, I'm wrong. But what do I do with this maladaptive misalignment? These histories must have a solution, solvable with enough wit. Find an issue we can solve within our own writs. Mend the cracks, bones, and blood flow in a proverbial community splint. Build bridges, not walls, even though that's a load of shit. Lots of empty platitudes without any weight in the wallet. I'd ask you to take my soul on consignment. I'd write an IOU to the devil if she could tell me how to find it. But she replied, I've seen your type before. No backbone, no spine. Are empty words all you have? Greet each day with a smile. Because you're not the only one who's come to me for easy answers. Get in line, take a number, and just wait. On and on and on and on and on. we just take a breath? Please. Let's take it together. In and out. I'm tired. My heart has never felt more worn. My hopes are weary from empathy fatigue as the cost of care. My creativity cannot bear the struggle of finding games to play on days where playing feels like leaving everything behind. Everything that I love and care for, that I want to hold, hug, and share with my children and my children's children and the children of my enemies who deserve more than to carry and perpetuate. Can I loosen my weight, lay down my burdens? My laurels look good for rest. Can we take another breath? Please, let's take it together. In and out. I'm happy you're here. That often goes unsaid. Unwell thoughts seem to cling to our minds like dirt sticks to carpets and the soles of our feet. Bad news soots the palms and toes, leaving prints in the ground saying, I was here, and I was carrying the burdens that were given to me. The marks that I leave are met with good company. They stand together with yours as if huddling to share heat, form walls, take space, create chants to repeat, and stomp the ground to drum beats that can make the world shake. Those of you proud enough to carry the weight of lives lost, dreams deferred, and yet still greet the day, cry tears of life and love, anger and forgiveness. We will not smile in the face of death. We will grimace. For each activist taken, we push the walls back an inch, and if the idioms are true, then where the fuck is our mile? It has and always will be perpetually denied. I cry when I read my history. I cry when I read yours. Crying comes with learning, but eventually the tears don't flow. All my heroes are dead, but their stories endure. No tears to pour, for our lives make me feel all alone. But when I look up and I see you, I see flowers at our feet. They grow with hope and love from the tears that we weep. The art you make is beautiful to see. Quilts, poems, dance, novels, movies. Your clothes, styles, scarves, makeup, and body. Jokes and laughter light the starry sky of ghosts aflutter with dreams denied, but shared, not lost by those who care enough to mix the face for prayers shared. We sing of joy in times of need, like a spiritual edict, a faithful decree. But this joy doesn't come free. We will it into being never alone, but with whosoever carries the dreams that we tether to our souls, hearts, and minds. We're always together. And when I feel weary, worn, battered, or bruised, I turn to you. I see your face and your smile full of hope. My soul feels light as a feather. So can we just take a breath, please? Let's take it together. frantic talks to mock sentimentality, 1 second, then the next, quickly jumping, time moving in morbidity and tranquility. I reproach 2:30 for yielding to 2:31, scold O2 for allowing O3, despise 28 for mentioning 29. My chest aches with today leaving, rushing away the joy we find. Who can I blame for today passing? Did I take enough photos, write enough poems? Could I capture this moment into a painting, or will it, unrecorded, be forgotten? I think that streams miss their past rainfalls, that trees feel sentimental for fallen leaves. Raindrops reverse certain altitudes, clouds reminisce about places they've seen. Urns remember the names of their ashes, the furnace remembers the urn. Nomads switch upon grassy pastures and leave traces in hope they too will return. I love the routines we find ourselves in, the traces of our own footsteps that wear on the path. When it snows, I plod back and forth, stepping into the same footprints I left a second ago, hoping the hills will remember where I was and speak of the silly songs I sang with frosted breath as they melt and continue on and forever. I see tags on bus stops and footprints in cement that dream of being seen, proofs of our living and thriving in between our lives and our mortal moments. In a year, I may not write silly songs, but instead write speeches and poems of the past, creating memories built on memories just for you, to whom these memories pass.